This is my intro into my YouTube world. I don't really know. First of all, hi, I'm Jasmine Nicole, and I have been doing content creation probably for about a year and some change now. I started on TikTok and over time evolved, learned so much, really loved it. I am a teacher by trade and a creative. And I decided to start my YouTube channel because I wanted to start to build a community. I don't really know what this is going to look like. I do know that I'm gonna start because if you don't start anywhere, then you'll never get to the place that you want to be. And I know that in trying something new, right? Long form content, it's going to take some time. You're not going to get it overnight, but I'm really interested to see how I can grow this page. Literally, I think I have like 22 subscribers, but I definitely want to do long form content because I feel like that's where God is calling me. I've built the confidence to be in front of a camera over the course of the year, and I really have enjoyed talking. I can talk, right? I'm not, if you know me in person, most people would probably think that I'm like so antisocial. I love who I love, but I feel like there's so much more to give to my audience. And I have so much knowledge and so much to share because life be lifing. We're out here doing all of the things that we desire to do, but there's still this stigma and there's still this hold on us that trying to get to the next level of greatness can sometimes be super hard. So this is my introduction to I don't know what I want this to be. I've been asking God to give me the vision. I've been asking God to give me the voice to be able to get in front of this camera and talk once a week to my audience. So, the first thing that I'm going to talk about, and this is by far not planned. I am in my just pick up the camera and press record era. And this is my attempt to just pick up my camera and record. The season that I am in is one that God is really testing me. I say that because when you feel like you've done all of the things right, you went to college, you waited to get married, you had kids, you built a career, you do all the things that society at the time really said that was the thing to do. And then you start to feel like, well, God, what am I missing? Why have you forgotten me? And I've been in the phase of God, have you forgotten me as of lately, but also still being very much grateful in all the things, right? A roof over my head, a healthy kid, a blissful marriage, a career that is not one that I desired for a long, extensive time, but is where God has placed me. I work with young people every single day. I'm impacting the lives of young people who will one day be our next generation, who will have some type of impact. I work in special needs, so my impact with young people is a little different in that I'm helping to grow these young minds so that they can be productive citizens in a world that just doesn't think that they belong. And so it's been such a journey, but I'm definitely in a season of God, have you forgotten me? But also in the same breath, God, I thank you for the blessings that you've given me, even though I can't see. God, I thank you that even though tomorrow is unpromised, I thank you for right now. God, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I trust you enough to know that it's going to happen. And that is the season that I am in. When I say the amount of times in the past month that I've had to fall to my knees and really submit to God and say, look, Lord, I'm not sure what it is that you're trying to show me. I'm not sure what it is that you're trying to give me. But what I do know is that I'm trusting you in the midst of it all. And for some people, they'll be like, if I can't see him, if I can't touch him, if it's not a physical feeling, how do I know that it's real? I've had many times in my life where I did not know what the next thing was going to be, but I knew that God, the God that I serve, the God that I love, the God that I grew up being taught about would do it. And I didn't know how. That's that concept of submit all things to him and then see what happens. I did not know how, I did not know when, and I did not know where, but I knew that if I continue to trust him and if I continue to do my part, because I oftentimes feel like when we say having faith and not doing the work, it really is dead. We can trust and believe in the Lord with all of our heart. And if we do not do the work to ensure that we are aligned with the purpose of what God has for us, then what are we really doing? And I find myself sometimes being put into this state where I'm having to go back to God and go back to being in his presence and being like, Lord, what do you want me to do? What would you have me to say? What would you have me to give to the world? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't necessarily know if this channel will be so God centered, but I do know that in the season that I'm in, where I'm trying to do things where I feel in my heart is where God is calling me, I also want to make sure that it's not my flesh who's really leading me there. I've been teaching for almost 15 years. And in those 15 years, I have learned so much about me. I've taught so many different amazing kids. I've been around really great people, but I was starting to really feel like it was mundane. I was missing something. And not only that, the financial burden was starting to catch up to me. And I was just like, this can't be the rest of my life. This has to be more than what it has to be more. I just was like, it has to be more. I'm building a family. I'm doing something that I myself did not grow up in, buying homes, being blissfully married. These are all things that I prayed about as a kid, that I hoped for, and I only dreamed of and made reality. And so a lot of times I'm just kind of like, what's next? I've moved to stateside. I've been in different arenas. I've been around a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures. And I'm still asking, what am I supposed to be doing? And so when I started content creation last year, it was really off of the small voice that said to me, stop sitting on your talents. And I could hear it clear as day. It was almost like someone was in my ear. And it literally said, stop sitting on your talents. And I thought to myself, wow, because I had always played the background. I was the background. I was the girl who played it in the background. I was always observant. I was always watching, listening, taking in the scene to really learn and understand the environment. That was me all day. Being in front of this camera and talking to this camera, no, that was not it. But when I heard the voice, which I still believe was God telling me to stop sitting on my talents, it was clear. And that's when I began my journey of content creation. I started to build my TikTok. I grew my following on one page to over 8K. I grew another following on another page to over 15K. I organically grew another page to over 1,500. And then I kept doing it and I kept reaching different audiences and I kept trying to learn where in this creative space I was supposed to be. I've done UGC, I've done TikTok affiliate, I've done all these things. I've learned so much. And that really was what I wanted. I wanted to learn something new. I could literally do my job, which I am a special ed math teacher, and I've been doing it for 15 years, just about. And I can literally teach in my sleep. I've taught sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. I know the curriculum inside and out from literally. And I started to feel like life can't just be this. There has to be more than just this. And I think that when we get to a place in our lives where we start to feel like the mundane, we have to really tap into our core self and say, well, what is it that we're desiring for the life that we have? But not only that, what is it that God wants from this? And I always go back to him because I pray for all the things that I end up having, right? I pray and ask God to align me. I pray and ask God to put me in the places where I need to be. And then when I get to these places, I'm like, okay, whatever you would have me do here, allow for me to do here, and allow for it to be a place where someone is gaining something. I don't want to leave this world not impacting it in some kind of way. And so for me, I really have been struggling as of lately of where is the direction that he wants me to go. This is my first vulnerable, long form, just talking to the camera, but I want to continue to grow. So if you've been watching and you're on this journey similar to mine, where you're just at a place where 40 is around the corner and you are literally in between trying to figure out what it is that you're supposed to do next, definitely hit that subscribe button. Thank you for listening to me chatter. I can be a chatterbox. This was an off the dome video, but I felt it in my spirit that I had to do it now because this is the only way that I'm going to get myself to a place where I can do it consistently. I wish you nothing but greatness for your life. If you're watching me and you're in that in between, know that he's not done with you yet. That if you still have breath in your body and you're still waking up, that he is not done with you yet. I wish you goodness and encouragement this week. And until next time, stay focused, stay centered, stay God. Hit that subscribe button. And until next time, thanks for watching.